Hey everyone, welcome to Happy Businessing with Suze and Haley. We have a new format that we can talk about in just a minute. I'm Susan Fessenden. I'm the founder of ProfitLogics and creator of the 5 Missing Pieces. And I have 25 years of hands-on, real, legit business management experience. I started in accounting, went into HR, operations, organizational development, and executive leadership, and worked in a lot of different industries and types of businesses, and wanted to put all of my experience into one framework, and that is the 5 Missing Pieces. And this will help you guys build a strong foundation. I have decided that I am so much better at this when I have a buddy to go live with. And so my first recurring co-host is Haley Gray. She's the founder of Women's Entrepreneur Network and Leadership Girl and Fiercely Marketing. Say hey, Haley.
Hey, how's it going?
Awesome. I want to give a quick shout out to everywhere we're streaming right now. It's super fun. Skyrocket Your Biz is my little Facebook group. And, Women's Entrepreneur, Haley's group, has 70,000 awesome women business owner members. We're live in Small Business Owners United. If you're not in there, get on over. They have 80,000 diverse small business owners. Bedrock Business Builders, this is Joe's group, fantastic. And I am also streaming to my itty bitty YouTube channel. I would love a subscribe. And LinkedIn. Woo! I finally got approved to go live in LinkedIn. I was so excited.
That's amazing.
Oh, well, it took forever. I applied like 3 times and I never heard back. So yeah, it's a game changer because I've been wanting to go live on LinkedIn for so long, but I'm not going to lie. I have felt pressure that I needed to take things to the next level if I'm going to be on LinkedIn, because that's where all my colleagues and ex-coworkers and bosses all are.
And do you think they're all sitting around?
Yeah,
you?
Totally. They're all watching right now. At least I hope so. Hopefully
That'd be awesome.
Hopefully they're proud. Hopefully I make them proud of the time they invested in me.
That is awesome.
Awesome. So I think that today we should talk about sales.
Ooh.
Dun, 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 dun. I should have my sound effects guy working. Yeah, so I've had a lot of interesting experiences with sales lately, both being sold to and in my sales process, and they're very different issues. And I know that, you have been in this marketing industry for a very long time, and I wanted to pick your brain. So you guys, drop us a comment, ask questions, tell me, what is the worst sales approach you've ever experienced? Hi, Christian. We see you. Thank you. Christian says, whoop, whoop. I love it. He's on LinkedIn. Yay.
Hello, Christian.
So you guys drop in the comments your most horrific sales experience. And if it's bad enough, I'll read it out loud and then you'll become mini famous, right?
I think one of my favorites was when I was, about 27, 25, 26. I was fairly young. And we already lived in our current house. And we were debating moving about 10 miles towards Research Triangle Park, a little bit closer, a little bit different neighborhood. And the realtor there in that neighborhood says, oh my gosh, it must feel amazing to be able to afford a house in a neighborhood like this.
That's not rude at all.
It was kind of very interesting to me, given that I already live in what is actually a more expensive golf course community.
Yeah.
And more established. We were just looking at the location and trying to decide if we needed to be in a different location. And I just died laughing. It was just one of those like, wow, some people have balls. And so.
Well, I've noticed a lot of people have sales techniques in which they're actually sabotaging their efforts. So I have had two identical experiences because some of you people are all using the same sales playbook and you need to stop. It's okay to have a sales process, but it's not one size fits all, you guys. And a technique that may be effective when you're selling an item like a car, a finite item that like it's gone if they don't buy it, versus consulting and coaching services. You don't want to be using the same sales techniques regardless of what your business model is and regardless of your target audience. So I'm gonna give this example.
Oh, I can't wait.
So when you're in the space that I'm in, advising, coaching, ongoing engagements with people, business owners, it's a relationship, you guys. It is intimate at times.
What?
Sometimes my clients cry. Sometimes my clients get upset. Sometimes we all get upset. Things are tense when you are hashing through the important missing pieces of your business. And the relationship is what is most important in this situation because this is real work. When you're doing consulting, coaching, and advising, at least, you want to use a relationship approach to your sales. And I have gone way too far the other side. Like, I don't really sell at all. I feel like the people I'm talking to are grown-ups, they're smart, and if they know what they're doing, they're going to come to me and want to work with me. And they're going to initiate that first. So how much does it cost? Well, what does it look like? How does the program work? I let them lead the conversation. Now, I understand that that's a big no-no for most people talking about sales, but it's because I don't want to implement a sales technique that I don't want used on me.
Yeah.
Do unto others as you would have done unto you. I am very hands-off, and I figure if it's a fit, it's going to happen. And if it's not going to happen because it's the relationship that comes first. That being said, I have my own challenges because I'm so hands-off in my sales approach. But on the flip side, I have begun to try to engage with two different types of advisory types of people. Okay. One was like a sales and marketing coach, and one was a book writing coach. Both fantastic people. I spent the whole call falling in love with them. No joke, feeling like, oh, wow, this person's really smart. That it's a really good fit. This is great. And then they both dove in to the exact same sales book, typical hard sell. And their goal from that point forward was to close Susan, close the deal, close the sale. And I could tell as soon as our conversation kind of veered off in this direction, right? The question they all ask. So what would it look like if I created for you, Susan, XYZ result? That's when it starts. That's when they're starting to read from the sales playbook. And then, as you go down the road, they try to get you basically to say yes before you've hung up the phone. Right. And both times, when I start seeing the path go that way, I reassure them. I'm doing their job for them. I reassure them. I go, look, I like you. I'm interested in your product. I'm not saying yes today. That's just not how I operate, right? This is a big investment, right? Coaching, advising, consulting, they're all really big business investments. It has to be the right fit, right? And so I would try to get them to back off a little bit and just trust the process that, if at the end of this I'm interested, I'm going to get back to you, right? And let you know. And neither of them were able to hear me. They didn't hear me. And they just kept barreling on with their hard sell, close, close, close. And to the point where, with the first person, this happened about 2 months ago, I told him, I actually had to put my hand in the air and go like this and say, stop it. Stop. You're hurting this. Don't you see what you're doing? You have to stop now. Like, just let us talk about fit and, what we're looking for and, be okay. Like, stop trying to close me right now. And would not stop. Kept going even after that. And I
Even
know,
after you said stop,
yep,
they can't listen and stop. Yeah, it's like it
because
doesn't
they're
matter what
used,
you say because they're reading their script and they're going to
yes,
read their script no matter what you answer.
yes, they're reading their sales script about what to do next. And like
Mhm.
if they have this as a no, then go to this argument, right? It's like, stop it. Just stop it. And it was really unfortunate a couple months ago, because I was interested, even though this person had very limited experience. I was like, well, I'll give it a shot, until I saw the sales technique. And I'm like, look, if you think you're going to help me with my sales using that technique, you are mistaken. I will never use those kind of techniques on my clients, or potential
Yeah.
clients. And then, very sad, last week I had the same exact thing happen, almost verbatim, the almost exact same process.
You wonder if it's
And
like a bot in their brain or something, where they're like pre-wired or something.
well, I think that people are looking for sales techniques that work. And so they buy these programs and they get these trainings and they want to follow it. And there's nothing wrong with that. I get it. But when the person tells you, look, this sales technique isn't working, stop it. You need to listen very carefully, right? And then start letting them design the rest of the conversation. Let them lead the conversation. And so the second time it happened last week, I saw it coming earlier, because it was literally the same playbook. And I just let the guy know, I'm like, look, I am like 90% interested. Well, what is it going to take to get you from this to done? And I'm like, look, I'm not going to make a decision today, so stop trying. I need to see some materials, send me a proposal. I answered his question, but he would not stop. Well, but what would it take to get you to sign up for this today? It's like, stop it.
Not today.
Yeah.
And if you can't take the answer of not today and take the time to answer my questions, then you're dead.
Yeah. And, with this second situation, I actually felt bad for him because I knew what he was doing and I knew why he was doing it. And I understand. You're trying these techniques, but what's really important, if you're thinking about sales for consulting, advising, and consulting, because it is so dependent on relationship first.
Right.
What is a massive component of relationships? It's listening and hearing them. And so for me, when I saw that neither of these consultants were listening to me, I was done.
Mm-hmm.
It was less about, I could forgive the fact that they used a crappy sales technique on me. But you know what? I can't overlook the fact that they didn't listen, because that is something I'm going to need them to do throughout the course of our engagement. Hey, you guys, I see you watching. Leave us a comment, ask a question. Tell us about your crazy bad sales techniques that you've either tried or experienced.
I had a similarly bad one on LinkedIn. Now I get them on Facebook too.
Right.
So I don't want to, single out LinkedIn for it having all the bad sales techniques. I had somebody who said, hey, Haley, tell me, what are you currently doing to generate leads? And I said, not much. I just happen to have a Facebook group with about 70,000 people in it. And they're like, oh, I hear that from a lot of people. Wah, wah, wah. It's like, yeah, you didn't even read the answer. You're dead.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the whole subject of cold emails and cold messages really sucks too. I think if you're selling widgets, if you're selling products, going about a cold, doing the numbers game cold calling process is, pretty much expected. And, if you're doing it as a numbers game, then you don't even have to be that effective, because eventually if you're reaching out to 100 people in a day, odds are someone's going to need what you're selling at some point, right?
Yeah, you're going to, you swing it around enough, you're going to eventually, hit something with that bat.
Right. But I think for consulting and coaching and advising services, it's just not the right approach, because you have to really understand their business. And again, you have to build that relationship first.
Yeah. Well, and people just aren't going to buy professional services from completely cold traffic.
Right. Yep. Yeah, it's super frustrating. You know, it happens a lot on Facebook. I don't mind people just sending me friend requests. I am actually expanding my Facebook, so that's fine. Same on LinkedIn. I'm a LinkedIn open networker. Bring it on. But what I hate are those bots, the automatic messages. Here, buy my shit. It's like,
I don't know
stop it.
who you are, but buy my shit.
Say hello. Can you at
Join
least
my direct sales company team.
Yeah, if you're going to be inauthentic and just want to use me for a sale, can't you program the bots to first go, hey, how are you doing? Like something.
It's really
crazy.
not very hard to program it to add a few extra messages to the
Yeah.
bot.
You know, warm me up first. Make me think you care. You know?
At least date me for like half a split second. Buy me a drink.
Yes. Yeah, it's funny. But I have, in fact, I just got snotty with someone the other day for doing that to me. And, she actually sent me a message that I got at like 1 a.m. because I'm usually up really late here. And it said something like, you know what, Susan, you never told me if you wanted this or not, XYZ product line. And I scroll through my messages from her and like 8 messages. The very first one, we say hello. You can see that I'm optimistic about the new relationship. And I'm like, oh, what do you do? Like, I'm like super nice. The next one, boom, she makes the hard sell. And I tell her, I'm covered in that area. Thank you. Now tell me about yourself. No reply. A month later, boom, hard sell. So I ignore it. Boom, hard sell. I ignore it. And then last night, she's like, I never heard if you wanted this product. I'm like, well, you're not listening. I very clearly told you the first time you hard sold me on a cold Facebook message that I was good, that I don't need your services, but bye. And then I blocked her. It's like, don't break the relationships you're building just because you're so focused on sales.
I had somebody who had one of those reach outs on another platform. And she's like, it would really be helpful if you tried to build relationships with people first before you try to sell them. And the response was, oh, I don't have time for that relationship building thing. Do what? Yeah. Y'all, I mean, sales come from those people you build the know, like, and trust factor with, not from the wham, bam, thank you, ma'am.
Yep.
Hi.
Yeah.
Want to buy my stuff?
Yeah. Well, I think that, people are using sales methods, like I said, that are used for selling things like cars. And they're using those and trying to apply those to complex business engagements that are very reliant on strong relationships and intimate understanding of each other's businesses.
Well, I don't think it's just those. I mean, if I had somebody who messaged me out of the blue on Facebook and said, hey, want to buy my widgets? Hey, I've got a rock. You want to buy a rock? I'd be like, go jump in a lake with a lot of rocks.
Yeah. Yeah.
The cold sale thing with people is just really tough. Now, if you have something cute, I mean, and it's a product, and obviously then people are going to buy, or be much more likely to buy. But even so, a lot of times, we forget that you can't go from that first message or that first view of an ad to they're going to just directly buy from you.
Right.
They're going to be like, oh, have my friends heard about you? Has this heard about you? Has that heard?
Yeah.
There's got to be some sort of brain like, oh yeah, I've heard something about this somewhere. Here, let me go check that out.
Yeah. Hey, I see you guys watching. Thank you so much for being here. Leave us a comment, ask us a question, and we'll get an answer for you. If you have a crazy sales technique that you want to share with the group, write it in the comments and we'll talk about it. So Haley, I was also wondering, if you can do some live hot seat coaching of me right now. Drum roll. Here
Oh, crap. Here it comes.
it goes. Here we go. So one challenge that I am having is because, one, I don't like sales. And because, two, I'm very particular in how I will sell. Like, I have my values very tied into my sales process. So I never want to sell or market coming from a negative. And I have
Right.
really clung to that pretty strongly. I never want to sell or come from a place of fear. I don't want to fear people in to hiring me or using my services, right?
Right.
And as time has gone on, I've eased up on that a bit because I realize that some fear is legitimate, and maybe that's how I save them. Maybe if I help them see, look, these are the bad things that happen when you don't do X, Y, and Z, then maybe I can get their attention. So I am slowly becoming more comfortable using some of these other types of narratives and messages. We have a viewer live. It's great to see you both. Thank you very much. I can't see your name, but we appreciate it. So I have these values that have kept me really, kind of tunnel vision on how I'm willing to sell and how I'm willing to market, and all of our social media strategy is, like planned around it. And so I'm trying to open my mind a little bit. I'm wondering what feedback you have for me, because a lot of the work that I do with small businesses is proactive. And this comes from my hands-on experience. I've worked at a lot of companies. I was always hired to come in and fix shit. Fix it, turn it around, get us into compliance, fix our cash flow issues, fix our culture issues. We have too much employee turnover. We have not enough employee turnover. Oddly, that happens too, guys. And so I'm always in these situations where it's a massive undertaking for a company to halt, turn around, pivot, get things back on track, fix it. It's usually very expensive. And some companies wait too long to address their issues, and then they can't survive, right? So me using fear as a sales technique is actually completely legit. Like, this is real shit that I've seen and that I've worked on and I've dealt with many times.
And some of this stuff is going to put you out of business.
It is. And I know that. They don't know that. And so this leads me to my biggest challenge. When these small businesses don't know what they don't know, they don't know that they're headed for disaster. I do within very few minutes of looking at their financials and talking to them. I can see exactly which one of the 5 missing pieces they've got issues with, right? But they can't. How do I get them to see that they need me when they don't see that they need it yet? Because they're going to typically wait until they have a problem and then come find someone like me. And I want to stop that. I want to change the statistics for small businesses surviving. 90% of small businesses fail within 5 years. I want to fix that. And the only way I can fix it is if I teach you guys that we have to be proactive. There are things that we can do ahead of time to avoid disaster. So what is your feedback for me? I know we've talked about this before. What's your feedback for me on different narratives I can try so I can stay true to my values as far as how I want to sell, but also convey this real,
well, I mean, you can talk about
issue.
So for each of your 5 missing pieces, right? Can you go over what each of those 5 is?
Yes. Thank you, Haley, for that nice punt. So they used to be called the 5 business questions. We are reframing them for trademark purposes. And the 5 missing pieces are identity. Who are we? The offering. What do we do? The vision. Where are we going? The execution. How do we get there? And accountability, which is something missing from a lot of businesses. Are we on track?
Right. So I think you can say, look, here are the main reasons that businesses fail. And, I can help you identify and prevent those from happening. So you could even take each one of those 5 missing pieces and say, I can help you identify, or, ask yourself if these things are happening in your business. The who are we question. Do you know who you serve? Do you know, like, you can ask these questions that basically say, are you missing pieces of the who are we?
Yeah. Like, do you know what your purpose is as a business? Do you have core values that you live and breathe each day? So you think posing questions that help them deduce that they're missing these pieces?
And, and the answer is, your business might be in trouble if you're missing these things, or if this lights up a Christmas tree.
Yeah.
How do you know if your business is missing pieces? Or, and you can even create like a rating system to say, how bad is it?
Yeah.
Like that. Are you missing one? Are you missing two? Are you missing all five?
Yeah. I want to read this comment. I want to read this comment. I don't like fear marketing either, but being proactive is so much better than having to clean it all up. Yes. But only people that have been there, only people that have been there and done that and been through that get that from a small business disaster, perspective.
Well, and it's not just small businesses that do this, right? But if you don't make this investment in the foundations of your business, right? I talk about, foundations of marketing. So building a platform.
Yep.
Because this whole sales thing comes across a lot easier if people already have some of that know, like, and trust going with you.
Yeah.
Because they're going to be willing to talk to you. And, and then the next step is, okay, so what is it that you actually do? But these foundational pieces in your business are critical, because you cannot build a big high-rise building on sand without a foundation in place.
Yep.
And those 5 missing pieces, if you're missing those, you've just missed the piers and the support beams in your foundation of your building.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, I like that. And I like the idea of posing questions. That doesn't seem as, I like that, because then I'm not the one scaring the shit out of them about what could happen with your business. I can pose it as some questions and let them think about, am I missing that? I wonder how important that is. Yeah, that's good. I like it. Thank you, Haley. How much do I owe you?
We'll chat later, but it's just that whole thing.
We'll talk later. She's gonna send me a bill, you guys.
Right? I'm awful.
That's funny.
But seriously, I mean, so when you can help people identify the fact that they have a gap, and oh, by the way, I'm the person who's going to help you fit that gap.
Yeah.
So I, a lot of times, will talk to people about the fact that, we can take all of the tactics, we can take all of the marketing spaghetti in the world and throw it at the wall.
Right.
But if you don't have a plan of what you're going to do with it and how those pieces of spaghetti actually fit together, it's nothing more than throwing spaghetti at a wall, and some of it might stick, some of it might not. But whatever it is, it's going to be a huge mess.
Yeah. Yeah, we've definitely been trying different things, but we're not making major pivots from our overall marketing strategy. So I think that's, kind of what you're referring to, that you have a foundational marketing and sales strategy, but within that, of course, you're going to need to try some things here and there.
Absolutely.
All right, Elizabeth Frederick, thanks for saying hi. Doing those types of questions is the Socratic method. I messed up. Socratic method is how they teach law students to identify the issues in a case. Yes, I'm going to show your comment, Elizabeth. That's true. Very cool. All right, I like it. I think I'm going to start implementing this.
And you can help people identify where the holes are in their business. And oh, by the way, because it's branded as you, hey, I can help you with that.
Yeah, totally. Thanks for watching, you guys. So I'm trying to keep the show to around 30 minutes. I don't know. Do we keep going? We have some people watching. We could keep this party started. Keep this party going. Get party started.
I need more booze for just getting it started.
That's true. That's true. All right. Well, I think we can wind up. You guys, I want to let you know that I am doing a pilot live week-long workshop. And this is where I'm going to be fine tuning a quarterly training I'm going to be doing. And because it's my pilot run of it, I have marked it down to almost nothing. Okay. So with this course, you get an hour plus, I never just do an hour advisory or strategy call. So we can make sure the course, you're going to get the most out of the course. And the course is a week-long live. I'll be doing live trainings, but you could always rewatch stuff. And we're going to administer it in a Facebook group. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I thought I would get on the Thanksgiving bandwagon and give a coupon code. So that is in the post. It's coupon code THANKS2020. And you can get my Skyrocket Business 101 course for under $100. It's really ridiculous. But I want you all to sign up for it because I think you're going to be blown away at the value that it's going to bring you. And you're going to walk away. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I'm going to say, and it's these foundational missing pieces, you know, so how do you know you need this stuff? Chances are, if you're a small business owner, you've got one or more of those pieces missing.
Oh, always. I have never in my entire career run into a business that didn't have an issue within one of these 5 missing pieces. For reals, you guys, every business can improve in these areas, and small businesses, especially because you're always in survival mode. It's very common for a lot of these pieces to get missed. So join the course. It's going to be great. And yeah, I think we should wind up. Do you have any final thoughts, Miss Haley?
I would say do it. You know, one of the things that I actually found really interesting, because, you know, you and I have known each other a bit, just taking your foundational questions opened up some really interesting gaps that I was able to find in my own business.
Oh.
And yeah,
that's great.
Like
that's
seriously.
Great.
And, you know, the opportunity to address them, you know, and I think that it's pivotal and just foundational to a business. So highly recommended this course.
Oh, thanks, Haley. That's super nice. Yeah, I'm going to cap it at just 10 students too, because since it's a pilot course, I want to make sure that everyone gets the attention that they need, and that then we can also implement any feedback into the next round. So thanks, you guys. Check out the landing page for the course. If you have questions, just message me. I'm always on Messenger. And Haley, you are a real rock star. Thank you so much for being one of my recurring co-hosts. I appreciate it. All right, you guys, I hope you have a great evening. I am off now to get ready for my next live. Oh, and then also I'm going to be doing a mastermind in my Skyrocket Your Biz Facebook group around 7:30 p.m. Pacific. So I've got lots of this to be doing today. I figure as long as I have some hair and makeup done, I'm going to go for it. And I'm going to hit everything I can.
I love it.
All right. I know it'll be too late for you probably, but if you're around, hop on the Zoom call and Skyrocket Your Biz. That'd be cool.
Be awesome.
All right. Thank you guys. Happy businessing.